Hi, let's look at this student's answer to an IELTS Task 2 writing question. You can see the student's answer and the question printed below. The highlighted areas I'm going to pay particular attention to. Let's begin with paragraph 1. The first sentence is a bit out of place because it is saying really that universities should be vocationally orientated. By saying they must prepare students for professional lives, that's the same as saying that they must prepare them for work. So this sentence probably should be at the end of the first paragraph where the student is going to state his opinion. But let's look at some of the other sentences first. One thing I have to mention immediately is that he is repeating words too much. For example, the word orientation and academic and professional are used too many times. Must try to use a variety of vocabulary. The second sentence, prefer to propose an academic orientation. This whole sentence is really not very clear. We need to change it to some universities prefer to teach in an academic way, whereas others want to help students with the skills they will need when they start work. The last sentence, I think that both orientations give the opportunity to have enough courses, again, is really not clear at all. The student is trying to say that both academic and vocational help the student in their work, but this is really not true. For example, if the student is studying something like philosophy or history or literature, it's very difficult to see how this is going to help them in their working life, apart from giving them general knowledge and some general skills. But this is quite different to, say, doing a course in engineering or medicine or chemistry, subjects which really can help you directly with your work. So really the whole of paragraph 1 is problematic. After my last sentence, I would say, in my opinion, I think that nowadays preparation for work is essential and students should avoid courses which are purely academic, when they enter the real world of work they will find these degrees almost useless. Moving on to paragraph 2. Again, the first 3 sentences are really not clear. I'm not quite sure what the student means by following general courses. I think he means something like general education, but really this is not done at universities. General education is really what you do in high school. Then when you go to university you do specific subjects. And the point that when students leave high school they may not know what work they want to do, again, is not really relevant to the question. To say that they're not yet ready for a specific course is again not on the question. The student goes on to say that he decided to follow a general course because in his last year in high school he was not sure what job he wanted to do. But again, that really is not on the question, it's going off topic. And the last point, that many universities will offer some kind of internship as part of the course. That really is the same as saying that the university is offering a vocational element to the course. So if the university offers some kind of internship, it could be argued that the university is offering a vocational course, but it does really depend upon what internship you are talking about. It should be relevant to the degree that you have taken. For example, if you're doing a degree in accounting, then you should get an internship with a company of accountants or working in a company in the accounts department. But if you're doing something like reception work or working in the filing room, this really can't be argued to be a real internship in terms of your course. Moving on to paragraph 3. Again, confusion here. The sentence, vocationally orientated, gives an opportunity of studies for those who are not satisfied with traditional courses. Traditional courses is not relevant here. A traditional course could be either a vocational or academic course. The next sentence is relevant. Some students prefer a more professional approach. And also the following sentence, some students know what kind of professional sphere they want to work in. And the next sentence also is correct, but lacking in detail. One big problem with this whole essay is the student hasn't really given any examples. So this next sentence, the vocational orientation, would have been an opportunity for the student to give a particular example. Here is a possibility. The vocational orientation of some universities gives the possibility for students to begin to practice the tasks they will be doing in their working life, for example, processing accounts for a company. Next sentence. Again, the sentence is more or less okay in terms of English, but again, repetitive and lacking in detail. This is where the student should have continued talking about the example. If we continued with the example about working in the accounts department, for example, we could have said, while working for a large company, the student would be able to learn about the day-to-day practice of balancing accounts, doing profit and loss sheets, and calculating future profit projections. Last paragraph. It is a chance is really unclear. It just seems to be saying that students have the choice about whether they do an academic or vocational degree. But really, this is what we have been saying throughout the whole essay. And the very last sentence, the English is okay, but again, the subject is not really on topic. So in conclusion, I'm afraid this is a lot of problems with this essay. I think the student has a particular problem with this subject. He doesn't have a clear understanding of the difference between an academic degree and a work-orientated degree. It probably would have been easier and the writing would have been better if he had just tried to think of one simple example of what would be an academic degree and what would be a work-orientated degree, and looked at them both in detail and discussed the pros and cons. For example, a degree in philosophy compared with a degree in engineering. This should have led to lots of practical examples coming to mind and easily being able to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of both. And clearly it seems that the most obvious argument to make in this kind of question is in support of vocational learning, especially in times when we have such high youth unemployment. Try to think of particular examples from your own imagination when you're talking about a subject. For example, I have a friend who graduated over 2 years ago with a degree in philosophy from a very famous university. He is one of the smartest guys I know, but he still can't find a job because really, who wants to employ someone with a degree in philosophy? On the other hand, another of my friends graduated in engineering, and he is now working very successfully for an international company involved in the construction of bridges. He travels all over the world, earns lots and lots of money, and is a clear example of why we should teach material in universities which is relevant to the work people will be doing. Okay, thank you for listening. Oh, finally, the grade for this essay, I'm afraid, is going to be pretty low, probably 5.5 or even lower. Sorry to say that. Bye for now.